Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on the Batman movie. And in this video I'll be going over everything we know so far about the Batman movie, and I'll be telling you guys why you should be excited for this. Now, I could have waited for DC FanDome to go over this. However, due to the overload of news that we will get during DC FanDome, I just thought that I wouldn't have time to go over this as a video post DC FanDome. As I said, there will be so many stuff that has come out from DC FanDome that I may need to cover. So I just chose to do this right now and just get out of the way with. Now, obviously, we will be getting new news about the Batman movie during DC FanDome as well. But for this video, I'll be just going over what we know so far as of now about the Batman movie. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more the Batman content coming your way. Now, I'm very excited for this movie, and it's definitely the movie that I'm most excited for going into 2021, and I think it just looks awesome from what we know about it so far. And for those who don't know, The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time, so just seeing another Batman movie just coming into live action to our screens just in like a year's time is just very, very exciting. Okay, so let's go over everything we know about the Batman movie. So first off, I'll go over the release date, and it's eyed to release somewhere in October 2021. And the cast for this movie, starting off with the director, is obviously Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves is the director for this movie, and he will not only just be directing this movie, but will be directing the entire trilogy as well. Yes, that's right, there will be a trilogy after this. So I'll be going over that in more detail in a bit. But from what Matt Reeves has teased so far, the excitement just keeps building up, and there will be 2 more movies after this movie. But then going into the lead role, we have Robert Pattinson, and Robert Pattinson will obviously be playing none other than Bruce Wayne, the Dark Knight himself, Batman. We then have Zoe Kravitz, who will be playing Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, Andy Serkis, who will be playing Bruce Wayne's butler, Alfred Pennyworth, Colin Farrell, who will be playing Mayor Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, Paul Dano, who will be playing Edward Nygma, aka the Riddler, Jeffrey Wright, who is playing Commissioner Gordon, and John Turturro, who will be playing Carmine Falcone. And the rest of the cast so far has not been announced apart from these people who I've just mentioned. Okay, so the next thing we know in general about this movie is that there will be 3 movies in total. So we're obviously going to have this movie, and we're going to have the other 2 of the trilogy coming after. And this will consist of a main villain, however, multiple other villains alongside that main villain as well. So kind of like how already it's playing out for this movie, and we're going to get like a sneak peek of that once we watch that movie, and we'll get like more of a taster on how the other trilogies will play out from this movie. But the next thing we know is that this movie will pick up with Bruce Wayne already being Batman when it starts. So this won't be a Batman origin story movie, but rather a Batman Year 2 movie. So we're not going to get a full Batman origin story by the looks of it. We could maybe get flashbacks to that alleyway scene. I still see it very unlikely that we will, but like, it is a crucial event that takes place to Bruce Wayne, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see it in the same time. Maybe it's this scene where like Bruce is in the Wayne Manor and he's looking at his mother's necklace, and then we get this like flashback to the alleyway scene with Joe Chill or something. Or even when Batman is taking down criminals, maybe he could encounter Joe Chill, maybe something like that will happen, but I don't know. So Robert Pattinson's Batman is obviously the youngest Batman we've had in a while, and this is him as a noob. So he's no way near as experienced as we've seen him in previous occurrences, from Christian Bale's Batman to even Ben Affleck's Batman. Yes, he's still experienced and he's a really skilled and badass fighter like we know Batman to be. However, this is him in the beginning. Like, it's his second year. So to the criminals in Gotham City, the Batman is basically an urban legend. Now, what I mean by this is that those hardcore criminals like the Batman rogues we know wouldn't have encountered or even heard of Batman. However, during these early stages of his career, Bruce would begin his crusade, only taking down those low-level crime bosses and drug dealers. So he's not made public to Gotham City just yet. So this could potentially focus on these criminals hearing about a caped crusader, and they're trying to find out if this bat is actually real or is he a myth concocted by the GCPD to just scare away criminals. Meaning, during this movie, once the rogues we know encounter him, they'll take him as a joke. But from the second or third movies of the trilogy, if they are to return, they will then start fearing Batman and taking him seriously. But in this one, they'll rather take him as a joke. Now, what makes this movie so unique to other Batman movies is that this one will actually focus on the detective aspects of Batman. So we know in the comics Batman is referred to as the world's greatest detective, and that could be the case as Bruce Wayne is literally a genius with an IQ of 192. So it'll be really cool seeing Bruce put pieces together and eventually solve the problem using his great mind that he has. I just think it'll be really different and just a really cool thing to explore. Now, another thing we know about this movie is that it'll be like in the point of view driven by Bruce Wayne. Now, this movie will indeed be thrilling, however emotional in the same time as well. And it'll be really cool seeing like Batman experienced with struggles, as this is him in his beginning. It's his second year in the cowl. So the fact that we could see Batman struggle and things like that will just build up more of a dramatic value, and we see him like struggle to put pieces together. Maybe this could what will happen, and that will focus on the more emotional side, as he could talk to Alfred and he could go like, I have failed, I cannot be the hero that I want to be. Maybe something like that will happen, I don't know. Now, for the movie, we will be having, as I said earlier on, one main villain, but other villains in the movie as well. Now, these villains so far include the Penguin, Catwoman, Firefly, Mad Hatter, the Falcone gang, and the main villain, the Riddler. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Harvey Dent, not maybe as Two-Face, but maybe they could set him up as Two-Face towards the end of the movie. But I'm not sure about Harvey Dent. Now, this is what I personally really like about this, and that is because whenever we pretty much have a Batman movie, it's always going to be Joker as an antagonist. Now, despite the Joker being a very good villain, I think the other Batman rogues really deserve a chance to just prove themselves as well. With that being said, I really love the fact that these Batman villains are having a chance to shine. Now, Matt Reeves also said that with this rogues gallery, and that this movie will involve Batman tracking down the criminals of Gotham City, and with this detective mind that he has, he will uncover the secrets of these villains and obviously try and stop them. And this will allow Batman to have this arc which results to this transformation into the hero that he's going to vision to be later on. Personally, I love the Riddler being the main villain of this movie because he is my favorite Batman villain. I know you could say all you want, but I do like the Joker, don't get me wrong. Like, Joker is really cool, but I prefer the Riddler. And the thing I like about this is that with the fact that this movie is exploring more of Batman's detective side of things, seeing Batman trying to solve the Riddler's tricks and basically playing his game and seeing what he's planning would just be really cool and would really emphasize the detective aspects of Batman, which I think is really nice. Now, you would have noticed I haven't mentioned Joker, yet Joker hasn't been mentioned at all. Now, why is that? Now, Joker is said to be teased a couple of times in this movie, however will be brought in during the second or third movie of the trilogy. and this is a completely new Joker, so this is not Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Now for the teasers for this movie, I would expect like he's the leader of the Red Hood gang. Like I would love to see that take on the Joker, and then maybe towards the end we see him fall into the Ace Chemicals acid. That's the Joker I would love to see for this movie. But whatever they have planned for the Joker in the trilogies, I trust Matt Reeves, and I think it will be really cool either way. Now, this movie is not part of the DCEU continuity as most people think it is. So far, it's its own separate universe. However, my theory is that he will eventually take up Ben Affleck Batman's place. So what I mean by this is that during the Flash movie, we will obviously have a heavily multiverse affected movie. With that being said, we know that Ben Affleck is gone and he's not coming back. So when Barry Allen restores the timeline from the Flash movie, obviously things would be really different due to the outcome of Flashpoint and timeline changes. So this would result to Robert Pattinson's Batman ending up in the DCEU and becoming the new Batman of the DCEU. And we'll get the new Batman alongside a reboot with the DC Extended Universe. That's what I think will happen. Now I know Michael Keaton will be appearing in multiple other DCEU films as well. So maybe once Robert Pattinson's Batman has become part of the DCEU universe, maybe like Michael Keaton's Batman could teach Robert Pattinson's Batman on how to become like that better hero of Gotham City, how to become that Dark Knight. But yeah, this is all we really know about the Batman movie as of so far, and obviously next week in DC FanDome we will be getting more and more information. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think about all of this. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.